Hello, greetings, beloved friends on the spiritual path. I wanted to send a few messages today. I recommend you take notes through all those videos. I express a lot of ideas and tools, but it's not, if we just hear it, sometimes it goes into one ear and escapes through the other one. Say, I heard about it. But so whatever resonates deeply with you and you feel there is value, take a note and practice it during the day. It's important so they don't, those things become anchor within you. And so the first thing I wanted to exercise, a little exercise, is to invoke the presence of Lord Buddha. For Lord Buddha is an ascended master whose love, compassion, and lucidity has been manifesting in the world during those all times, but during those times of Wesak. And the meditation is about closing your eyes and going down into your heart space. And then your third eye open and you visualize a door of light. It's a door of light, and you call on the Lord Buddha. I say, Lord Buddha, I thank you very much for coming to me and teaching me to show me the peace, the inner peace, and the serenity and the stillness, so that I can fully ascend my form and be at peace with myself and the world. And so then you take a little time. If you're ready, you'll see the Lord Buddha will come out of that door and then see what happened. Be open. Do not try to control the interaction. Just let it happen and see what happened. And at the end of that process, he will return into the light and then says, "Thank you, Lord Buddha, for your presence." For it is something you can cultivate, and this door is also when you meditate and you want to go into your sacred heart. You always visualize that you come down into this heart space, and you visualize this door of light in the heart space. And as you get closer, you see it says on the door, "My highest guidance within," and then you go into that. But that's for another meditation. For now, we just want to receive the energies of love and light of the Buddha, this force of lucidity and compassion, so that we can blend in with the higher aspect of our own divinity. So it is important to also utilize this force to ask that God and Spirit and the company of heaven dissolve this whole hypnotic program that's been broadcasted and forced on the world. There is all kinds of lies that are being constantly broadcasted. So as people awaken, the lies will disappear. So do it in the name of Christ and call on the company of heaven to make that real and manifest for all beings on this planet, and connect to the Christ consciousness. For the Christ consciousness is really what we seek to achieve. It has nothing to do with Jesus or Joshua or Sananda. It has to, of course it is the highest manifestation of that Christ consciousness. But the Christ consciousness is the energy of the teacher, is the energy of unconditional love. It is a universal consciousness that we seek all to attain. All the galactics that have ascended into the higher plane have achieved that Christ consciousness, and beyond that there is a multi-level, multi-universal consciousness. But for now we need to achieve this multi-dimensional universal consciousness, and so it is important to continue to connect to that. For in the time of Wesak, we come to the realization of the preciousness of life. And when I realized that many years ago, to be able to communicate with little tiny insects and to see their sensitivity, the meaning of their life. For the insects are far more important to the well-being of the planet than humans. But I'm not denying that God has given us all this planet and it's created for us, for our evolution. But we need to respect every form of life. When you walk on the street and there is a little insect that tries to go under your feet, try to avoid it, to see that his life is very precious to the planet. And this is a great deal of, just this simple act will show a great deal of awareness and understanding. We create our own matrix through the waves and the pulses of our consciousness every day, both on a individual level and as well on the collective. Another very important aspect that needs to be understood. I understood that decades ago, but I'm just coming into the power and realization of the power that lies behind this concept, is the understanding that there is only two sponsors to life: fear and love. Fear and love are not emotions, that they are sponsors of existence. Every thought is either sponsored by fear or sponsored by love. For you say there is neutral thought, but neutral thought fell into the positive thoughts. positive love energy. But so when you have a thought, try to wonder, is this thought sponsored by love or is it sponsored by fear? Every word may be sponsored by love or fear. In the media, a lot of it is sponsored by fear. So I'm not blaming them or judging them. Yes, they have a responsibility. For those who are conscious that they're doing that because they're being paid to do that, we'll have to face the music. Those who are unconscious will be forgiven. But we're coming close to this time of judgment, so it is all the truth will be coming up to the surface. Yet understand that every word, every thought, every action is sponsored by love or fear. So when you have fear that's sponsoring something in your mind or sponsoring which generates words, which generate actions, try to stop it in your mind before it goes into words and before it goes into action, because the consequences, we live in everything is cause and effect. So every action, every thoughts, every words have consequences on the mirror of life. So you want to cultivate the love within yourself, for yourself first, and then you broadcast it to others. And you want to focus on there's this agenda, the dark and light agenda is far older than this fight that has been carried on the planet, but it's far older than that. It's a galactic it's a cosmic fight battle between negative extraterrestrial and positive extraterrestrial. And so because what we call the humans that are doing those dark things are just controlled by darker entities from the astral planes. They are manipulated. They are being lied to themselves. They believe that they've been taught that they will eventually ascend into this demonic realm and have a position where all the negative extraterrestrial will not give them that. They're only lowly humans to them. So they're serving demons instead of serving God. So focus on the plan of the positive extraterrestrial, which serves the Christ consciousness, rather than the negative extraterrestrial, which serves a satanic agenda. And do not fall into the trap of needing to fight against the dark, for this is not how it works. When we fight against the dark, we fall into it. Because those entities, if they send you hatred and malevolence, and you respond with hatred and malevolence, this is their fuel. This is how they fuel their life. Rather than eventually they will have to, if they want to find salvation, they will have to change and find the fuel of life through love, for that is really the only fuel that we seek. And so do not fight fear with fear, or brutality with brutality, or anger with anger. For when there's those, you're confronted with those things, breathe, find your center, your love, and then send the violet fire or send angels there to clean it up, to dissolve it, to transmute it, and to follow the plans of the Christ. For the disintegration of the matrix has been accelerated, just as the ascension has been accelerated, and not all will qualify. And there is a lot of people that are going to continue to be sleepwalkers. But there is an unprecedented opportunity to create this ascension during this lifetime. But all those who are benevolent, who are kind-hearted, even if we do not achieve that ascension in this lifetime, we will be given the opportunity to complete it on the astral plane, or to complete it in the next future incarnation when all the matrix will be clear. So do not worry about that. Just to be try to be yourself. Go seek within your heart. There is divinity that exists at the very center of the heart. There is your God self. As you are aware of that, you can ask your God self to send waves of love to invade all your body, your consciousness. So be in contact in the heart. The heart is essential. It is where it's all happening. And for we want to clear up this karma, we want to balance it out. For the karma is those things we have accumulated unconsciously through many lives, and now we have to bring this balance, to utilize unconditional love and forgiveness, to see the light of truth and to eliminate the karma. For there is always the love, but sometimes we are being overwhelmed with negative energy. To be transmuted, it's like Dante in the Divine Comedy, has to go through the cycles of hell before to find the light in purgatory, and eventually to find its paradise. Very soon there will be the end of trial and tribulation, this point of freedom. That does not mean the ascension, but we'll be in a position where we're comfortable enough to complete our ascension in a comfortable manner. For we've been going inside this storm. It's very stormy, but we want to move beyond the storm, to elevate ourselves above the lower astral planes, to be able to stand in a positive dream. And do not be afraid to dream big. For the universe, it is the same. Just inform the universe of what would make you truly feel good, what's really meaningful to you. For we're all different. We all have different dreams and desires. So it's not about being concerned with what everybody else is doing. It's to find your own salvation. Then you will be able to bring it into the world. For we're going to be able to take many people with us as we ascend, as we complete this ascension, but we won't be able to take everybody with us. Those who are not, it's come from the soul and the spirit. Many people would want, like the majority on the soul level, we want to complete the ascensions, but they're too much asleep, so they won't be able. Yet if they're good. This extension of time was given to qualify more people, otherwise we would have ascended in 2012, but it would have been only a few thousand people that would have ascended and billions of people that would be left behind. So we've been given this extension, and so that more people will be able to utilize the tool, to do the inner work, to turn within, to listen to the soul and the spirit, to cultivate that love and light. So we want to be submit for like in the world Islam is submission to the inner light, to the word of God, to this great inner light. Understand the light is very powerful. So do not interfere with the work of the light within yourself. And feel the wave of love that comes from within, and create the pulses and the impulse to create this new creation. For every day we are creating this new creation collectively and individually. And you have to claim your divinity, to know you are the living breath of God. You are worthy of recognizing and being one with your divinity. So you always seek in order to do that, you seek to live within your heart, to cultivate love within your heart, and there is great rewards, although it is not always like instantaneous. There is great rewards in seeking to live in your heart, to be truthful, to be sincere, and to allow yourself to disengage from all very old conditioning that are still working in the mental process. And so because if we do not want to give our power away to the dark forces, and there are many people that their mission is to denounce all those dark processes, like journalists and such, and all of this will come up to but no, it's not for everybody to do that, because otherwise we're gonna fall into the trap. Those who study evil are being studied by evil. If we try to utilize, God will use everything to educate man, but for us we need to go from ignorance into light, from darkness into light. If we go back into darkness to show the darkness, it's like we fell into it. We stay there. We have to let go and forgive in order to ascend. Otherwise we are being trapped by the judgment and the need to see those punished or whatever. Just let them go. Trust your creator, for everything is allowed in the universe, but yet there is times where at this time is really a time we're getting closer to the time of the final separation of timelines. So just choose the higher timeline, choose the plan of the plan of the Christ. The plan of has nothing to do with religion, it has to do with love. Once again, you don't need to be Christian although I am Christian, I'm very connected to the Buddha, but I'm very, very, essentially I serve the way of the Christ. That's always been like that. Because we come to realize when we become aware that there is this hydra, this tentacular energy that have invaded all systems of society, those dark forces in the political, economic, science, education, health, everything has been, but this will come up and this will be resolved and this will be removed. They will not succeed, for it is a time we moved out of the Kali Yuga. They believe that because they've been through a time where God led them through the dark ages, that God will allow them to have this illusion of power. In truth, we have no power. Everything is controlled by the Creator. God is all-powerful. And yet they have all kinds of agents that are indoctrinated and slave of that program, and they're defending it on the media. Many are being paid by the dark forces to promote their agenda. So do not promote that agenda, just promote the divine plan, the love and the light. And some of them are completely unconscious. It will be easier for them to forgive themselves than those who have. But we'll see about that when the time comes. For the love of God is your greatest protection. There is nothing more powerful than the love and light of God to protect you in those times where there will be great agitation in the world. So remain serene, remain peaceful, and connect to this inner Buddha, this inner Christ, For we all have that great power within. It's just a matter of trusting and knowing and moving towards that each and every day, integrating new level of light. And we have to cleanse our emotional body and learn to live in our light body more and more, to feel this liberation, this universal consciousness, and daily to call on the great central sun to recharge us, to fill up with light, whether you call it from within or from above, and to work with that. Well, I hope this message was interesting for you. Do practice this meditation and connect to the ascended realm, the ascended host. I'm going to pull a few cards. So in the past is past, present, and future. The past is the knighthood. It's about being brave, about defending our value, about being truthful, about creating this shield that protects us from falling into the darkness, so that the darkness just bounce on us. They will have no power once we find enough divinity. This force of divinity is strong enough. Our light is strong enough. We will be completely unpenetrable, untouchable by those dark energies. And right now the time is the Celtics is finding the power of magic. We're all going to be able to discover new powers, new magic, and to connect to the world of nature, to be one with higher forces that will empower us. And the future is the spirituality and religion. Future is spirituality and religion. So follow whatever your own path is, for we all have different paths, but the spiritual way is one, but there are many ways that they will all lead back to the one, to the one creator. What we're working on right now is the vessels. It's a great exploration. We're crossing the great waters. We're moving into new adventure. And the outcome will be the dissolving of the old matrix. It's called persecution and inquisition. For this dark matrix has been going on for a very long time, but it is dissolving. It is dissolving very quickly. And so because everything the dark is doing, the light is using it like Aikido. It's turning this force against them, and they will fail. There is no way. You cannot even entertain the idea that they will be able to fulfill their plans of tracking, of chips, of vaccination, of this old world order is gone. They're still trying to impose it in the media, but they will not succeed. So do not even entertain that sort. Just focus on the divine plan and the freedom for all, and then we'll find the farm. The ability to nourish ourselves, to live close to nature, to nourish others. And so it is being connected to nature. We're going to return to this deep connection to nature. And so I hope this resonated with you. Behind me, the paintings, this is a painting on paper. It's about this Buddhist, this person that's meditating. Actually, it's a self-portrait. And he's standing above the earth, and on the bottom is the cosmic key. Is my cosmic key. The cosmic key is a triangle with a sphere in the center. It's a cosmic key, and here there is the earth at the center, and he's being elevated. He's got this cup in his heart that's resonate and that radiate, and he's got those 3 flowers on top of his crown. And for those maybe completely or not completely finished, I'm going to review everything when I can. And the same thing with this one. There's still little tiny details that needs to be done. It's about the 7 great families of spirit beings. Sometimes it takes a while. They're very methodical. It takes a while to see what needs to be done, and so it is a slow process. I still see some little details that can be done. So I will continue to work on them, and I have thousands of paintings that are complete. So whenever I need to create a catalog, I already have enough to create a catalog. But there will be they will have to be reviewed in a sense before they are framed and cataloged, just to make sure that they're complete, because it's a matter of details. Sometimes the details are important. We want to be very detail oriented, even within our own life, our frequency. There's as long as there is a little details that is not taken care of, there's still a detail, and it's like when we change one thing, we change the whole picture. So be detail oriented. Just pay attention to all those things, and be patient and loving towards yourself. And so I was going to sing a song that went through my mind, but I don't have the words offhand. It's a bridge of a troubled water, a song of Paul Simon, I think, sing by Elvis as well. But it's because it's like that's what we're doing right now. We're crossing a bridge of a troubled water. And so, but I will sing it in a future time. For now, I'm going to sing a song that talks about change and about time, and about how time cannot change. Time will change us, but we cannot trace time. Time is the great separator. It separates things, and it's like the time does not change, but everything and everyone change through time, as Todd used to say. So this song is called Changes. I still don't know what I was waiting for, and my time is running wild, a million dead-end streets, and every time I thought I had got it made, it seemed the test was not so sweet. So I turned myself to face me, but I've never caught a glimpse. The other must see the fake. How much too fast to take that test? Cha-cha-cha-cha-cha, turn a face a strange, change ahead, don't wanna be a richer man. Cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha, turn a face a strange, change ahead, there's gotta be a different man. Time may change me, but I can't trace time. I watch the ripples change their size, but never leave the stream of warm and permanent sand. So the days float through my eyes, but still the day seems the same. And these children that you spit on, as they try to change their world, are they immune to your consultation? They're quite aware what they're going through. Cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha, turn a face a strange, change ahead, don't want to tell them to grow out of it. Cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha, turn a face a strange, where's the shame to left your neck in it? Time may change me, but I can't trace time. Strange fascination fascinate me. Our changes are taking the pace I'm going through. Cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha, turn a face a strange, change ahead, look out you rock and roller. Cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha, turn a face a strange, change ahead, pretty soon you're gonna get older. Time may change me, but I can't trace time. I said that time may change me, but I can't trace time. Very insightful song, yeah? It's like we'll have to. There is a faker, and we have to turn towards ourselves in order to see the truth, to accept to change is very important. When I pull four cards to see what the highest wisdom for us today is achievement, so we're here to achieve whatever we came here to achieve, and then once we find this inner resolution, the rest will follow. What we have to understand is the limitation. We do not want to create more limitation, but we do want to accept the limitation, accept that life is perfect for what it's teaching us, and then from there we are called into action in order to improve and get free of the limitation. For we want to envision and see a life without limitation, for there will always be certain limitation, but to expand into our truth and freedom. So, because a lot of people are more comfortable in servitude than in freedom. They're afraid of freedom. But more freedom we have, the more responsibility we have also in relationship. But do not be afraid of freedom. Do not be afraid of joy and for sometimes it's so new to us, this joy and this love, joy and freedom of the higher self is like. So we'll get used to it. We're getting accustomed, acclimated to those new frequencies. And so what we have to do is to create, to stay creative, to utilize the art for the appreciation of art, but to also to create as much as possible, to whatever you feel for thoughts create. As we put our emotion into our thoughts, they create. So focus on this love and catch up the thoughts that are motivated by fear before they become in manifestation. And the outcome is our master guide. Our master guide is a protector, is a guardian, is a celestial being that is always overseeing our path. It's a guide that keeps us on our spiritual path so that we can achieve this destiny and meet them on the higher planes. And so connect with your master guide. Ask your master guides to come and reveal your own truth to you, to establish this relationship, even if you don't receive answers right away. As you think every day to connect to your guides, they will reinforce your own light until you reach this point of connection with your own divinity. Well, I hope this was interesting for you. I wish you a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later. Namaste. Namaste. Namaste.